back to the Five Ways to Be Awesome podcast.
Whoa, that was really good.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's our last episode.
It's our last
for
episode.
now, maybe.
For now.
We'll see.
But we're your hosts, Bryce and Katie,
Yeah, it's
best
good to be
friends
back.
and podcasters.
Awesome podcasters now. We're
Awesome.
basically pros by now.
Basically.
Yes, but we are in our last week of the series, 5 Ways to Be Awesome. We're looking at the fifth book of James, and it's going to be a
the
great...
fifth book of James.
fifth chapter of James.
Fifth chapter of
I just
James.
saw something on your microphone that threw me off. That's why, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, so we're talking about this life that God has for us, and there's ways that we can live in an awesome way to experience the awesomeness that God has for us.
Yes, every week, as you know, our faithful followers know that we've had a great guest, and we have an awesome guest for our fifth week. We are going to welcome our friend Dawson Rubin onto the set. Come on over, Dawson.
Woo, the
Awesome Dawson. Awesome Dawson. That is awesome.
Dawson.
It kind of rhymes.
That's amazing.
It does rhyme.
It does.
It's basically.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It is so awesome to have you here.
Dawson.
Thank you so much. It's so much fun to be here.
Yes.
Awesome, in fact. To be
Well,
here.
We try to use the word awesome as much as possible.
Okay.
So,
I feel like the last episode we should try and
really
it up a
kick it up a notch.
awesome it up, some would say. So
Yeah,
Dawson's
so-
a great friend of ours at our San Clemente campus, but
Woo!
so excited to have you. Every week we have asked our guests to share their list of 5 awesome things that they just want to share that they think are awesome.
Things that you think are awesome.
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, give us your list.
There's a lot of things I think are awesome, but to
You
narrow
only get
it down
5.
You only
to
get
just 5. Okay, just 5. One thing I think is really awesome is cereal. I'm a huge cereal fan.
What's your favorite cereal?
See, that's like asking a parent what their favorite kid is.
Oh, I
It
know.
never really works out.
Captain Crunch. We already discussed this.
I think that frosted shredded mini wheats, the strawberry ones, are a little underrated.
Are you
Wow.
70?
Hot take, I know. Not quite 70, almost
That's
there.
not what I thought you were going to
That
say.
is not awesome.
Okay, that's okay. Number
on,
2.
those are
Number,
awesome.
number 2
Number 2,
awesome
yeah.
thing.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
I never grew out of my Scooby-Doo years.
is
I just feel like
Yes.
prime time
That
still.
is good.
Scooby-Doo and the Harlem Globetrotters,
Oh.
too. That's one of the best episodes.
That is one of the best episodes. I would have to agree with
Oh
that.
my gosh. Okay, number 3.
Okay.
The third
Awesome.
thing, I think the SSM San Clemente students are awesome.
Wow.
tear.
Humble brag.
Very awesome.
Very
great.
proud brag,
Very awesome.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
San
they're
Clemente
awesome.
is awesome.
They're awesome.
Number 4, surfing. I've
Yes.
been getting into surfing lately.
Whoa.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Awesome. We've had back-to-back weeks of our guests talking
because
about
you're
surfing.
you're from Chicago,
Midwest, yeah.
Midwest, so surfing was maybe a new thing when you moved here.
It was,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Apparently people learn in the Midwest on one of the big lakes there called Lake Michigan,
That's
but I
not
have
real.
never done that.
That's not
Okay,
real.
well that's awesome.
All
that
right,
you
fifth
surf.
one.
The 5th thing I think is awesome is adventuring. So anything that's like,
I agree.
whether that's
I love
going to the
that.
mountains or whether that's climbing a building or whatever it is. Like I would love to do
Have
something
you
like skydiving.
climbed a building?
Well, not like a skyscraper,
Like, you
but
know,
like
climbing a building.
you know, like you see a ladder
Climb the
and you
building.
climb it because it's there.
Oh, okay. So like putting up Christmas lights.
I've never done it. I've never.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
My adventure
That's
of putting up Christmas lights.
There you
Yep,
go. Or
yep.
taking
love
them
it.
down. So great. Those are
So
awesome things.
some of our longtime listeners will know this, but every week
That
we
is always
talk
funny.
about
5 week long time listeners.
our
Something
longtime listeners,
awesome
our fans, something awesome
we
that
found
we
on
love
Amazon.
to do. Yes.
Yeah, so last week was good. We had the pizza pouch, but this week we're just going old school and we think that googly eyes are awesome.
Googly eyes.
Here's
Yes.
why. Let
Oh
me
my
tell you,
goodness.
Katie and Dawson.
We'll talk about adventuring.
Well, talk about adventuring. I mean, googly eyes just make inanimate objects hilarious. Like,
Yes.
look at that salsa googly, or
It's-
look at
oh
that.
my gosh.
That baby is terrifying.
That is
Like-
so scary.
That is gonna be in your
That is
dreams.
not-
Like I feel like
That
that
is-
baby was upset,
Like,
and then you put
just going
that-
out to Walmart on a fun Friday night, putting on googly eyes on statues. It's just, I mean,
No.
I would love to venture around RSM and just put googly eyes on
Oh,
things.
those creepy statues.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyways, so we brought some googly eyes for everybody. We have some around our seats.
Yes.
And we're going to play a game.
Yes.
And if we lose a game, we have to put googly eyes on ourselves.
Yeah, so with all of our guests, we play a game because it's awesome to have fun.
I'm also just going to put one on my microphone.
Yes, and
because that's awesome.
Yes. Okay, so what's the game, B?
The game we're going to play is True Confessions. So what's going to happen is it's just a
That eye is staring at me right now.
It's just a Cyclops microphone. It's fine. It's whatever. So we're going to play True Confessions. What's going to happen is we are all going to say a statement. It can either be a truth or a lie. And then the other two people get to ask follow-up questions. And we have to go until you guys make a final guess about 30 seconds in to see if you think it's a true statement or a false statement. So very simple.
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right, Katie, you're going to start us off.
Okay.
Yeah, so give us your statement.
Oh, wait. So when I was in second grade, I went into this place called Clark's Drugstore, and
That sounds dangerous.
I was starving. And so I went to the candy aisle, obviously, and I just took a candy bar and I unwrapped it and ate it right there in the aisle.
Wow, what was the candy bar?
Then I put the wrapper in my pocket.
What was the candy bar?
It was a caramello, which
Excuse
I
me?
realize is something that grandmas eat, but it's
don't think I've
Is
ever
those
heard of one of
marshmallows
them.
with the chocolates over it?
no, it was like chocolate and caramel. It's like squares.
Okay, how much does
delicious,
the candy
though.
bar cost?
Well, I don't know because I just ate it and then I stuffed it in my pocket.
How did you
so
feel
essentially,
after?
I stole it.
Yeah, I think this is a truth.
Was
That's
anyone
me.
with you?
No, I was by myself. I was wearing a pink jacket.
How old were
Such
you?
vivid details.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna go with this is a truth. What do you think?
I also agree. I think
Katie?
it's the truth.
it is true.
Wow.
So you lose, so you have to put a googly eye on yourself somewhere.
Okay,
So
just anywhere.
yep, anywhere you
Okay.
want. Just on your forehead,
yeah.
your cheek, or
Just here.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
whoa.
Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Dawson, give us
I
your
look
statement.
like the Indiana Jones ride. The eye that you look into. I mean, I don't know. I can't see
Let's
myself.
just have a moment for Disneyland.
Oh,
Okay,
I love
next,
you.
Dawson.
All right, my truth or lie. I guess we'll figure it out. That eye is just precious. I just love it. I love it.
Seriously. Oh. Okay, go. Sorry.
Okay, my story is that I once hugged an NBA player.
Whoa.
Which
who?
NBA player?
His name was Draymond Green.
What team?
The Golden State Warriors.
What was the date?
Wait,
Oh goodness,
Draymond
what was the year?
Green? That's not real.
It was real, actually.
Oh.
it is real. Yep.
What year was it?
Yeah, I think it was 2016.
Where was it?
It was at Michigan State, his
Did-
alma mater.
Did were his armpits so sweaty that when he hugged you, it wiped on you?
It was pretty much like I pretty much stuck my head into his armpit. Yeah, it
Okay,
was-
I'm gonna go with. I think this is a lie.
I think it's true.
All right, Dawson, what is it?
it was true.
Oh, dang it.
Congratulations, Bryce.
All right, I'm just gonna put one right here.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. I've tripped at the Grand Canyon.
Oh my goodness.
I've tripped at the Grand Canyon and I had to get stitches.
That sounds extremely dangerous to trip
Yeah,
at
some
the
would
Grand
say
Canyon.
I like adventuring.
Some would say you
How
like
old
adventuring.
were you?
I was 6,
How many stitches?
2,
Where on your body?
above my left eyebrow.
Did Terry Kelly administer the stitches?
No, but she was very
Bryce's
concerned.
mom.
Yeah, that's my mom. What do you think?
I think it's a lie.
I also think it's a
I
lie.
don't think you've ever been to the Grand Canyon.
It's true.
Dang.
I know. I had tripped. Both put on a googly eye, please.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Let's just. I think just put them on everything.
Let's just keep going. Why not?
I feel like
right?
I'm blind. Okay. All right. So we're just going to
imagine
talk
walking
about
around like
Jesus
this?
now.
Wow, that's.
Yeah. Okay.
right.
So we are in our.
Oh, boy, that was really on.
All right, we are in our last week of 5 Ways to Be Awesome. This week we are talking about James chapter 5 and what it looks like to pray.
Yeah, and I think, last week we talked about a way to be awesome and to experience the awesome life that God has for us. It's living a life of humility. And so today, what does it, look like for us to live that awesome life or lean into the awesomeness that God has for us by being prayerful, by connecting with him through prayer?
Yeah, let's just to share a little bit about ourselves. What's maybe something big that you've prayed for in the past or small that you've prayed for in the past and has it been answered?
I love that. I'll go first.
Sure.
One thing that was big that I prayed for is for a friend to come to Jesus, for a friend to get to know Jesus and step into the awesome family that he has for us. And it's been so cool to watch her journey as she's gotten to know Jesus and stepped into that. And I've prayed for things as small as winning a basketball game, which who knows if God will actually help out with that, but it's worth a try, right?
I mean, yeah.
I think sometimes it's small little things like, Lord, just remind me that you're here. Or Lord, just bring your peace in this moment. Sometimes I feel like my prayers are small, like one sentence, but they're really powerful. And I see God answer those all throughout my day.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily praying for something to happen to me. It's maybe just praying for him to be near or something like that.
Yeah, I think in the last year of, COVID and everything, how crazy last year has been, if it's basically been a year already, I think when there was nothing consistent in my life, prayer was consistent and Jesus was consistent. So I just think that just praying every day of like, God, just protect me and my family today, was something that I tried to get into a habit of. So I think the small prayers are super powerful. And I think big, bold prayers, God honors those as well.
Well, it's funny, like, I think when we really lean into prayer and we make that a daily practice, I really think that does help us to be at our most awesome. We're the most connected. Therefore, the way that we're living life just feels awesome.
Yeah. Do any of you guys have a story of like an awesome answered prayer in your life?
I have a prayer actually similar to yours. I prayed for my dad. I was the first person to come to know Jesus in my family. And so I prayed for my dad, my mom, my stepmom, my siblings for years to come to know Jesus. And I can remember praying for my dad faithfully for 6 years. Wow. Every single day for him to come to know Jesus. Cool. He was super far from the Lord. And 6 years into that prayer, God answered that prayer and he came to know Christ. And then he led my stepmom to Christ, my baby sister to Christ. Awesome. So it was just kind of set off this. And as I was 16 at the time, and I just remember thinking, this is never going to happen.
That's what I was going to ask, because I feel like 6 years, if I prayed something right now and didn't hear back till I was 29, I'd be really discouraged. Did you run into times when you were discouraged?
Definitely. I just was like, Lord, when will this happen or will it happen? And just wanting that so bad, wanting my dad to know Jesus so badly. Mm-hmm. But I think that was my desire, is just continuing to lean into and believing that that my dad would meet Jesus someday. Yeah. And awesome. So he did. But it was 6 years. I was 22 and he finally came to know the Lord, and it changed our whole family.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's important to recognize, too, prayer is more than just asking as well. There's so many different types of prayers. Mm-hmm. There's prayers about whatever. There's prayers of thanksgiving. There's prayers to recognize, how big God is. So I think it's important, too, to recognize that, yes, of course, God wants us to come to him and ask, but there's also different types of prayers as well.
Yeah, and going off that, I feel like ultimately what prayer is about relationship with God. We get to ask him, but he also gets to ask us things. And hey, are you faithfully following me? Or hey, where do you want to see me today? And it's all about that relationship piece, which I think is so beautiful.
Yes, I think that's like a common thing for us, maybe as humans, to think that prayer is one-sided, but it is an exchange. It is a conversation, and it's an opportunity to, put needs before the Lord, but it's also an opportunity to say thank you to him, to worship him, and to receive from him.
Yeah. I always think one of the things I hear the most from students is, I feel like God's so distant. And my first question is, well, how often are you praying? Because, think of your best friend and how often that exchange happens every day, or your parents. You're talking to them every day. If you're not talking to God every day, he's going to feel a little distant, right? So I think a really tangible action step I would encourage every student is you should be praying every day. You start off asking and then you add other elements to prayer.
I love that. And even on top of that, I think too, if I only talked to my mom every day and I didn't ever let her talk to me, if I only talked to her, she would also feel distant because I'm not hearing from her. And so taking that time to sit and take 5 minutes of silence every day or every other day and just, God, I'm listening. Even if you don't hear anything in the beginning, it's training yourself to get to listen to his voice.
Well, and that, I think is a great practice of prayer. Silence is a part of prayer. We pray and then we can sit. And sometimes that feels awkward, maybe like, is anything happening?
What's up, God?
But being quiet for some moments to be able to hear. Do you guys have any things in your daily prayer life that are just practices for you?
Yeah, I find that the most time of the day that I pray is when I'm driving. And this is also going to sound weird, but when I'm in the shower too, because it's just a moment where you're just by yourself. And I think a lot of times when we get in the car, we're so quick to like plug in our phone, figure out where we're going, that I realized it really makes me slow down and center myself before wherever I'm going to. So I try to pray as I'm driving for people, for things, for whatever.
I love that. I heard the comparison once about prayer, talking kind of like if you only talk to your coach at the beginning of the game and at the end of the game, you're not really going to do much during the game. And so talking about that as our day. And I love that of like, you're getting to take timeouts throughout the day and say, okay, coach, like, how's the day going? Hey, what do we need to see? What do we need to do together, and kind of teaming up in that way. So I love that.
So just to wrap up, what would you say, Katie, is like one practical step that we can give students if they want to start praying actively?
Yeah, I love the practice of short prayers a lot of times during the day. I'm not necessarily the person that is going to do the 6-hour run in prayer or the hour run. So a lot of times whenever I get a text message from somebody, as soon as I respond, I'll shoot up a prayer for that person. Or, when I'm in scripture and I'm, praying for something, I just try to do everything in the moment and not say, I'll pray for you later. Just always trying to pray now. So if I have a need now, praying now. Yeah. Or if I see someone's face or name, pray now. Yeah. So I think that's something that has served me well in prayer. Yeah.
Dawson?
That's awesome. I just use the reminders app on my phone, and I'll put a prayer in at a random time during the day. Just so as soon as I see the prayer, I can just pray for it right then and there, kind of like what you're talking about, and then swipe to the right or the left or whichever way and hit done, and then it'll come back the next day and getting to jump back on that the next day.
Yeah, super practical. Well, our hope is that students, you'll jump into a life of prayer. I mean, there's nothing more rich and beneficial than praying. So really, we've been talking about everything in the book of James about how to put our faith in action, how to face our problems, how to use our words, how to be humble, and
James
how to pray.
Is an awesome book.
It has everything.
Well, and it really is a guide to being awesome. Again, leaning into the awesome life that God has for us, but also a way that we get to live in an awesome way for Him.
Yeah. Our encouragement to you students is to maybe just, as we've navigated this book, we've breezed through a lot. So a great next action step would to be read all 5 chapters of James over the next couple of weeks and just really dive into each week again, because we really only skimmed the surface. Yeah. And there's so much goodness in the book of James.
Absolutely.
So much awesomeness.
There's so much good conversation to have with people too. I mean, I love these shorty little books in the Bible that pack a mighty punch. And I feel like that's what James is. It packs this awesome punch, but there's so much for us. So go back through it slower.
Yes, slower.
And soak in the awesomeness.
We have students every week, we give you a couple verses that we hope you jump into. So this week, if you want to take this a little bit further, you can look at James chapter 5, verses 13 through 16, because it has a lot of great awesomeness.
I totally forgot about your googly eyes.
so much awesomeness.
It's whatever. Awesome. So fun. Well, Dawson, thanks for being with us.
Of course. So much fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Katie, it's been a pleasure.
It's been so awesome.
It's been so fun. So maybe we'll see you again soon. But students, we love you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Be awesome.
Awesome.